It's my podcast. I could cry if I want to.
Well, hey, them's the rules, man.
You would cry too if you had a podcast.
Do what I do. Yeah.
You might actually, yeah.
So. To the 10th episode of the Donut Bag. I can't believe there's been 10 of these. I feel like I just started a couple weeks ago. Anyway, in this episode I talked to Drew Zakmin from the One Headlight's 90s podcast and Marie about the best 90s one-hit wonder. I talked to Lyndell Werling of Fangirl Sports Network about the Steelers' brutal loss to the Chiefs. And I talked to Coach Warzu about week 2 in the NFL, and we review our picks. So let's do this. So now for our as still yet unnamed segment, where we determine the best of something. I have, as usual, at Pittsburgh RN, Marie. How you doing?
Hello.
Hi. And with us, coming back to basically, if there's anything 90s, I'm calling him the world's foremost expert on the 90s. I'm talking to Drew Zakmin. He's hosted the One Headlight 90s podcast. It's at 1HL Podcast. Drew, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back.
Okay.
Hi, Drew.
Hello, how are you?
We were just talking before we started.
Don't you sell me out. Don't you sell me out.
Okay, I won't.
All right.
I won't say that you weren't crazy about the 90s.
Hey!
I will not say that.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Anyway, so that's okay because you're outnumbered because me and Drew love the 90s. So
that's fine.
You're
I am happy to be the minority, and now I remember why I listened to so much Stevie E in the 90s.
Okay. So okay. Well, first a little bit of it. Oh, I think I have a title for this segment.
Oh, finally! I can't wait to hear it.
I think it's going to be called Baker's Dozen.
Okay.
I like.
And we got a lot of good suggestions for the name, but keeping with the donut theme, let's go with the.
Well, you remember now, a baker's dozen is 13, not 12.
Yeah, well, forget that.
It's a valid point.
We can't do 13 because
hey, we're not splitting hairs here.
Well, because polls will only go to the maximum of 4, so I'm not doing. If we're doing 13, then we're doing 16. So, and we're not going to do the playing game anymore because it seems like whoever won the playing game won the whole thing every single time. So we're not doing it anymore. So we're just doing a top 12, and then we'll just do them all at the same time.
You know what they say? When it's your podcast, you can pretty much do what you want.
It's my podcast. I could cry if I want to.
Well, hey, them's the rules, man.
You would cry too if you would cry too if you had a podcast.
Do what I do, yeah.
You might actually, yeah.
So, yeah, see, that's what Drew did. Drew got his own podcast too.
I get it.
Marie, you need your own podcast. That's the next step.
Oh, Joey, it's hard enough for me to do 2 of yours a week.
Okay, so another piece of business is the last one me and Marie did. She came over to my house and we basically rambled on incoherently for 20 minutes.
We laughed for 20 minutes.
We had a great time, but it was not. It was basically a segment about nothing where we talked about the best TV show currently on, and whatever we came up with, I basically just made my own list because it was just such a we had a good time, but
I mean, you did take a lot of suggestions from your followers who you can't say phoned in, but who tweeted in a lot of good ideas, and that's kind of what you went with. I think that was perfectly appropriate.
So we came up with a top 12, and the final 4 were Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's a good list.
And out of that, it looks like Game of Thrones is going to win. It's ahead by a lot. So not really surprising. You hear? I mean, I've never seen it. Drew, do you watch Game of Thrones?
No, but I am a big Walking Dead fan.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Okay. Well, I'm a big
and I just voted for it, and it didn't help.
Yeah, it did not do well for
uphill battle at this point.
Yep. But okay. So this week's topic is best 90s one-hit wonder. Now, I did something like this once. I tried to do a tournament of 90s one-hit wonders, and I found that there is a strict definition of one-hit wonder, and basically it's the strict definition is it has to be the group or artist has to be a hit that's like in the top 40 in American Billboard, and you couldn't have had another one. And to that I say screw it. Again, it's my podcast.
It's my podcast. I'll do what I want.
And there's a lot of like gray area there too. And you're right. Everything I've looked up, it's like it has to be. They have to have just one hit in the top 40 because a top 40 is considered a hit. You can have one that's like 50, but it still counts as like a one hit. But there's other bands like Not a Surf and Not a Surf, that song Popular, that actually peaked at number 51. But everybody knows that song Popular, right? And that's so. I think of Not a Surf as a one hit. Well, I mean, I think of Not a Surf as like a one-hit wonder. I mean, some of their stuff is pretty good, but
it's really good, Marie. It's basically kind of like a spoken word kind of thing, and it's really I'll play it for you sometimes.
You would love it.
It's
all right.
It's different. It's different.
All right.
Okay, so so basically what I'm saying is there's if you want, I think Wikipedia has a really good article on what technically is considered a one-hit wonder, and they list all of them. So, but we're not doing that. We're just like for example, I have where is it, by Ace of Base, the Sign. So technically they had other hits. Yeah, exactly. But they have other hits, so this wouldn't count. But I'm counting it anyway because. Most people know I Saw the Sign, and they don't know, like, I think
anything else.
Other hits, like,
All That She Wants.
I
mean, I know the 90s, obviously, but, yeah, I mean, they had a couple songs, but, yeah, I think when you say Ace of Base, the first song you think of is The Sign.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. So, let's all give our list, because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of, I mean, I know, Drew, you saying you came up with dozens, and I mean, I came up with about 20 or 30, just,
I have 8. I have 8. 8.
Okay, you know what?
8.
She went for 2.
8. I have 8.
Okay, Marie, let's start with your list.
All right. Blind Melon, No Rain.
Right, there you go.
The Wallflowers, One Headlight. Nice podcast name, Drew, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Semisonic, Closing Time.
Good one.
The Rembrandts, I'll Be There For You.
The Friends theme. I didn't even think of that.
Deep Blue.
That was all you.
Deep Blue Something, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Eagle Eye Cherry, Save Tonight. Natalie and Bruglia, Torn.
That's a good one.
And my absolute 100% favorite, Harvey Danger, Flagpole Sitta.
There you go.
Know
that's my favorite.
Yes, I'm aware.
Drew, Marie, what was your first one again?
A Blind Melon, No Rain.
No Rain, okay. Drew, me and Marie, we have our friends have a band that does covers, rock covers, and they play Flagpole Sitta every gig, I go crazy. That is my all-time favorite song.
He does.
Do you remember that?
It's great.
The reason why I love it so much is, you remember that it was like, it's kind of like internet history, that like the very first lip dub that those people in that office did, that lip dub of Flagpole Sitta.
I don't remember that.
Oh,
What's
yeah,
lip? Never mind.
It's kind of like internet history. It's like the first time that like a bunch of people just did a lip dub, and that's why I love it so much, because it's.
Wasn't that also in the first American Pie? Or maybe it was the second. I think it was in one of those American Pie movies.
Pretty sure that's to you, Joe.
I don't know. All right, Drew. What's your list?
So I was a bit more strict when I put my list together. I stuck to just songs in the top 40. So so I left off like Popular by Nada Surf. Another one was Hum. They did a song called Stars, which is probably one of my favorite songs ever. But that was like, it peaked at like 71, I think. But here's another thing too, right? So Oasis, when you go just by the numbers, Oasis technically had one hit, which was Wonderwall, which peaked at number 8 back in 1996. But that was it. Like, they had Don't Look Back in Anger, which is 55. So technically they're a one-hit wonder. But I refuse.
That's shocking. Because
I refuse
to
to
be
a
lot. I thought they would be much more successful than that.
I refuse to admit Oasis is a one-hit wonder. So I'm not even going to mention them. I am disregarding it. Okay. So I'm going to go backwards. This one's kind of like a sleeper. It's a song called Deeper Shade of Soul by a band called Urban Dance Squad from 1990. It was kind of like a skater punk type vibe sound to it. Pretty cool song. I like it though. It's definitely different. Number 11, I have that song Cantaloupe, Flip Fantasia by a band called Us Three. Love that song. Number 10, I have Love Is on the Way by Saigon Kick. I love that whole album, The Lizard. That song is actually, it's like a nice ballad, but the rest of that album is actually kind of heavy, some of the stuff they do. So it was kind of a contrast to what they usually do. So Saigon Kick is awesome. Number 9, What Is Love by Hathaway, which, if you've ever watched Saturday Night Live with Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan, love that song.
That's a great skit that they did.
Right.
That song is forever immortalized because of that. But
yeah, that's for sure.
Number 8, Folk Implosion. They did a song called Natural One. I think it was on the movie called Kids or the show called Kids. It took me forever to figure, because that song was always like stuck in my head for years, and I couldn't remember who the hell sang it. And then eventually something like some of the lyrics came to me, and I Googled it, and it took me probably like 10 years to actually find it. So I'm actually very proud of that. So that's why I'm talking about it. Number 7, Just a Friend by Biz Markie.
Oh God. Anybody can sing that song. That's the great thing about that.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
And probably better than Biz Markie too, but hey, he's the one who wrote it. So
what I love about Biz Markie is I think he made an entire album and they had to destroy him all because it turned out he like stole something. he sampled things without permission.
Probably.
That's called plagiarism.
Well, it worked for Vanilla Ice.
See, it's that extra ding.
Oh, that might be a stretch saying it worked for Vanilla Ice.
Hey,
he made money. Now he flips houses.
And he has no integrity. Anyway.
So there was that. Number 7. So number 6, also like you, I have No Rain by Blind Melon. Great song. The B-Girl. That video is pretty iconic.
Awesome.
You see the B-Girl, you know exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
Number 5, this song, it's weird, but that's why I love it. That's why I love the 90s. The 90s were so diverse as far as like the songs that you were listening to, right? So this one is that Crash Test Dummy song, the song. I
remember that. Yeah.
I love it. The guy's voice is insanely deep. It was also in Dumb and Dumber.
Is that all that was? Is like Is that basically the whole song?
No, there were words to it.
There are words. Okay.
That was just the chorus. That was it. The chorus was that.
I'm pretty sure I can hang up now.
Oh, come on.
I'm sticking with it.
All right. But that song also was in Dumb and Dumber, which is one of the best movies ever made. So extra street cred for that song. Number 4, and this is another band where I felt next couple of bands I felt they were more than one-hit wonders. But number 4, I have Far Behind by Candlebox. I love Candlebox. That whole first album was amazing. They also had a song called You, which also kind of got some airtime. But Far Behind was the only actual hit per se. Peaked at number 18 back in 94. But I love Candlebox. Great band. Number 3, Epic by Faith No More. I love Faith No More. I watched that video earlier today, and I was like, "What the hell was that guy wearing?" I haven't seen so many pastels in 20 years. I
remember the
video.
It
was great.
Was really weird and out there.
Oh yeah, a lot of Faith No More stuff was kind of that way too. The singer Mike Patton has amazing vocal range, but he's not what you would call normal. But he's such a great singer, and Faith No More is a great band. It's just I was surprised that they only had the one hit, but that's the way it goes, I guess. Number 2, I love this song. I don't care what anybody says. I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred.
Oh yeah.
Judge me all you want. I don't care. It's a great song.
No judgment. No judgment here.
I don't